Hey everyone. Well, we've gotten through the hump. We're over. We've moved on to the second half of the class, and I just wanted to sort of follow up on a few things that I've been saying to some of you individually, some of you all together, and to sort of make sure that we can push toward week 9, which is where your final paper is due. So an easy, sorry, I pulled a knot on my dog's head. So he yipped at you, and now my husband's laughing at me. An easy thing to fix is your MLA format. And some of you are, I don't know why, I think you're individuals and you're creating your own format, but you can't do it. It's illegal in the English world. So this is the way in which we format our academic discourse, which is what you're involved in right now, academic discourse. And you will be asked forever as a MFA recipient and perhaps a teacher in a four-year institution to format everything in the MLA format. So if I am still pestering you, please don't make me do it. Get on the URL that I continue to just sort of copy and paste for a couple of you and figure it out. It's easy. The general format shows you what your first page should look like. Some of you are having spacing issues. You have to go into Word. You have to go into paragraph. You have to remove space after paragraph, because if you don't, you end up with 2.5 spaces between your paragraphs. And this is ridiculous stuff, but remember, I've mentioned this. Actually, I think I was writing about it in my UCLA class. We read with a bigger eye first. We look at something and we assess it. And if I assess your paper based on the way it looks, you want it first. You want it to look right. You don't want me to waste too much time assessing with my big eye. You want me to go in with my smaller eye as I read through your paper. Okay, so fix the MLA. It's easy. It's free. It's online. Owl Purdue. Okay, MLA. Another thing, and it seems easy, but apparently really it's not. And it's about following prompts to completion. And I've had a number of students, I know that, this is a crazy time. And trust me, I'm experiencing it too. But one thing that's really important is to read the entire prompt and complete the entire prompt and do the parts of the prompt that you're asked to actually write about. So in this last assignment, I had people who wrote to the pre-writing and then didn't maybe follow up with the analysis of the bios, or people who just didn't read the part about the analysis of the bios and just presented the bios. So one thing that I have talked a lot about for years in reading classes, but also when people are taking testing, and it's hard to do when you're around people, but read the prompt aloud. Read it aloud so you hear it in your ear and you know what you need to do. And I really suggest that. It works great. You hear it and you complete it. I had a student, I think a couple sessions ago, and she just, we really went over it. I'm like, you're missing half of every answer. And so we finally nailed this one down for her, and she snapped too. So if you're missing stuff, do that. I also would appreciate, and I think it's pretty important for everybody to, and most of you are, but really tighten up a little bit responses on the board, make them finished with capital letters and, that important stuff. Just because that stuff, that information in the board can sometimes be used right into your final paper as well. So if it looks good there, it's a copy and paste thing for yourself for your final paper. Research, I appreciated all the URLs, and Courtney Neil Gaiman talk got me down the rabbit hole of looking at what he was doing, and then quite literally, not of my own volition, some information about his Goodreads.com feed showed up in one of my whatevers. And, it was a really great example of how social media and crowdsourcing pages can do you wrong. So one of the things that we really want to talk about with social media is where to draw the line, how to draw the line, that kind of thing. Okay, so this week you are posting your bios. I have gone through and made all the comments that I can make on your versions. So I'm kind of stepping out of the focus group and will come in later at the end and assess what everyone's done and write you up a long list of ideas about bios. And depending on what you write, I would say memoir writers and young adult writers probably are best served by the first person point of view in a bio. And then the rest of us not writing those things are probably better served by the third person. I personally, as a reader, I'm not fond of the cutesy, funny, dashy, non-specific bio. Other people love that kind of bio. So why the focus group is good is that you don't just get me, my opinion. You get your classmates telling you what they think without me involved. I get to step out of this one. And I mentioned to a number of you in the last week that let's see what other people say. Don't change it yet. Let's see what other people say. Because, I'm old. I write what I write. You're writing what you're writing. Maybe there's a balance of idea and thought about what you put down in your bio. Okay, let's do it. Let's see what happens. I look forward to watching you guys, and I'll be back with you on Sunday. Okay, have a good one.